I'm in a bad mood. I'm also on week 1. I'm at the end of week 1 of The Artist's Way. I don't know if you know about The Artist's Way, but it's basically this book, and this book takes you through 12 weeks, 12 transformational weeks, and in the end, you're supposed to become a different person. You're supposed to be like a true artist. By the way, the morning pages are 3 pages handwritten every morning. It's like the first thing you're supposed to do. I don't make the rules, but another component of The Artist's Way is like you have exercises that you can do every week, or that you are forced to do every week. You're supposed to read the chapter. And then there's another thing that you have to do, and it's called the artist date, which is where you take yourself out on a date with your inner child. And it sounds really dumb, but you know, it's just part of the process. This is the 3rd year in a row in late August / early to September that I have finished week 1 of The Artist's Way. And every year something fucking happens and I'm not able to continue. In 2022, I started it around this time of year. I was like, you know, I'm stagnant in life. I like really need. So I started The Artist's Way, and I was a few days into The Artist's Way when it was my friend's birthday picnic. For whatever reason, I put my morning pages in the backpack that I brought to the picnic, and I brought my keys, but I was borrowing the backpack from my sister, so I also brought my sister's keys. Went to the picnic, it was great. Everyone decided to go to the club after the picnic. Brought the backpack to the club. Obviously, you don't want to be dancing with the backpack on, so me and my friend were like, she had her bag with her as well, so we were like, you know, let's just put our bags off to the side. We can watch them. My friend was like, it'll be fine. I go to the club all the time. Like, I'll watch the bags. She ended up making out with someone, and so she was not watching the bags. I also wasn't watching the bags. I go back to get the bag with my morning pages in them, and the bag is missing. I obviously had a breakdown at the club. Everyone needs to have one crying incident at a club in their 20s, and that was mine. After I lose both sets of keys to my apartment, and what else did I lose? Oh yeah, my morning pages. I was like, I'm gonna persist. I continued writing my morning pages in a different notebook. I continued doing the morning pages every day. However, I couldn't do my artist date because I couldn't leave my apartment. Like, I guess technically I could, but like, also like during this time, I literally, like, there was so much going on. My sister was getting married. Like, I was in the wedding party. Half of the wedding was in New York, half of it was in London. So it's just, I was traveling at the same time. It was just like, there's a lot going on. And so I did not complete The Artist's Way in 2022. 2023 comes around and I'm like, okay, now is actually the time for me to do The Artist's Way, because I'm in the doldrums. It's the summer doldrums. Also, my life is, you know, it's going nowhere. I don't know what my next move is. Like, life is supposed to change, but it doesn't for me. And so I started The Artist's Way. 1 week into having started The Artist's Way, I went to my friend's birthday picnic, and what would you know, I lost my backpack again. Just kidding. I did not lose my backpack again. Actually, this time it was something totally different. At the end of week 2, I went to Turkey on vacation for my parents' 50th wedding anniversary. Once again, I found myself in this predicament where I was like, okay, I have a lot of stuff going on, but I'm gonna continue writing the morning pages every day. But of course, when I went to Turkey, I ended up giving up. I did write my morning pages every day, but I didn't go on an artist date because I was afraid to go out by myself with all these weird men staring at me, and also it just was too busy. Like, there was too much going on. So 2023, I gave up after week 1 of The Artist's Way. I guess like after week 1.5. Sorry, there's like something in my eye. And now it's 2024. I cannot believe it. And I've started The Artist's Way at the exact same time. I did not mean for this to happen, but there was this one guy that I went on a date with about a month ago who brought up The Artist's Way, and then pretty much ever since then, I keep remembering The Artist's Way. And then I found myself at a crossroads in my life about a week ago, and I was like, nothing ever changes. My life is terrible. I need to change something. And so The Artist's Way popped into my head again. What do you know? So as I go through The Artist's Way this 3rd time, or like go through week 1 a 3rd time, I have for some reason, all of a sudden I have some like insight into myself and into why it's been so hard for me to do the artist's way every year. It is for the same reason why I think pretty much everything in my life is hard for me. And that reason is that I am actually a perfectionist. And I know people say, they like make fun of people who say that their weakness is being a perfectionist in a job interview, because it's like, not an actual weakness, but actually for me it is, because it makes it so that every time I'm doing something, it's like an impossible task. I'll sit down to write the morning pages, which is just supposed to be stream of consciousness, but then the entire time I'll be like, if I don't do this perfectly well and like under the perfect circumstances, and this writing of the morning pages doesn't completely change my life, like it's over for me. While I'm writing the affirmations, I'm like, I feel like I should be feeling something specific, like I should be channeling a certain kind of energy, because I feel like I can't summon this energy within myself. It's like I can't. Clearly, like, the circumstances never are perfect, and people say this for a bunch of things in life. And the thing is, like, I have this tendency in other areas of my life, and I'm pretty sure it's like an OCD tendency, because, okay, when I was 10, I had all these problems socially. Like, my friends just hated me. They just wanted to crush me like a bug, and they did. And in response to that, I developed like soul-crushing OCD. I could not function. I had it from all of my peers at school, but they were like, why are your hands like so dry? They're bleeding. And I'd be like, oh, it's dry skin, you know, it's the winter. Really, it was because I would just go home and I'd wash my hands for hours. My parents were like, you can't do this. We're going to limit the amount of soap that you're allowed to use. I don't even know how I got around that one, but I did. Probably I used like hand sanitizer or something. Oh man, I just remembered I need to stop sledging. Taking a shower would become this like massive effort. You go in the shower, and I know a lot of people say like, oh, people don't know how to shower correctly, which every time I watch one of those videos, the next time I take a shower, I have the worst experience. I end up in the shower for like 30 to 40 minutes scrubbing my body. Like, it's bad. But yeah, that would be every night for me as a preteen slash teen. I would have to get my showering perfectly right so I knew I was actually clean at the end of it. Like, I needed to make sure I was doing it just right. Like, I don't have that issue anymore, showering. I outgrew that. I unfortunately retained that mindset into adulthood, which is crazy because like when I was a kid, a pre-10-year-old kid, I was not like that. I was very haphazard, very happy-go-lucky, very lighthearted, very demure, very mindful. And yeah, it just like it totally went out the window. What am I even talking about? So, wow, what am I talking about? Like, I cannot remember what I was talking about. The artist's way, you know, the artist's way being something I needed to do perfectly. I think my solution to that, and also to every problem I have in life, is just to half-ass it completely. I'm going to put in as much effort as necessary to finish the tasks at hand, but like beyond that, I'm done. Yeah, I'm not gonna touch that. I got this idea from Stardew Valley, which I've been in Stardew Valley again, very, very much into it. I've been thinking like, what if I could just approach life like I approach doing tasks on Stardew Valley? Like, my ego is completely detached from the quality of my crops on Stardew Valley. I know that if I mess up, I can just start over the next day, and you know, there are infinite chances in Stardew Valley just as we can make them in life. It's just I get way too attached to the outcome. I'm way too attached to perfect. But in Stardew Valley, you know when you're starting out, it's not going to be perfect. So that's the way I'm approaching my life and approaching the artist's way. And I think I actually will finish the artist's way. I am getting a little bit perfectionistic about the artist's date because I don't know what to do. All I can think of is go and drink by myself at a bar, which I feel like is definitely not what you're supposed to do. In all honesty, it might be what I do. Sorry. I'm sorry, Julia Cameron. I know you're sober. You're a sober savior, but that's what I can think of for this week. It's not even like I feel like drinking that much. Like, as you can see, I'm having this thing. It's a ginger beer in a wine glass. But yeah, bottoms up, and cheers to a successful first week of the artist's way.